Welcome to the Showcase Sports event on Harford TV. I'm Don Morrison, along with my partner. What is your name, by the way? Ray Ruse. Ray Ruse, one of my good friends who's joining us here today to talk about, Ray, what is the first time event ever in Harford County. It is the championship of the UCBAC division. Now, don't get confused. Go back a decade. They used to have a championship, but it was the Susquehanna division, lower division, against the Chesapeake upper division. Always a cakewalk. I think in like 15 years they played, there were only 3 times Susquehanna won. Now we're having an honest-to-goodness playoff between 4 teams. Started on Friday in the semifinals, and now the finals here tonight in both boys and girls lacrosse. We have a doubleheader. I'm looking forward to a great time.
Yes, this should be good. And the semifinals were good matches, Don. I mean, Falston only beat Rising Sun 15-13, and then Bel Air beat Sea Mountain Wright 14-12. So that was good.
And the interesting thing is Bel Air in the same division as is Falston. Falston the number 1 seed, Bel Air the number 4 seed. So tonight we're having the number 4 seed playing against the number 1 seed for the championship of the UCBAC girls lacrosse. Should be great fun.
Yeah, and the thing is, I really like this, Don, because to what you said, you're now giving the 4 best teams a chance to play for championship.
Yeah, you go back earlier in the season, Bel Air beat Falston by 12-10 in a game that, talking to both coaches, that just went back and forth and could have gone either way. The great thing about these 2 coaches, Matty Ricucci for the Falston Cougars, they are, and Kristen Berry for Bel Air, best of friends. They love each other until the whistle blows and the game starts.
So I asked, I think it was Maddie. She said they played NEMS Club Lacrosse together with each other as kids.
The Cougars come in with a 7-5 record, just 1 senior in the starting lineup. Can you believe that? Here's a team that won the state class 1A region title last year, lost all those seniors, and they're back again in the championship game of the UCBAC with all sophomores, a couple of freshmen, and a few juniors, and 1 senior.
Yeah, they have some real balance on this team, Don. I mean, you have some of the stats too, but you know, Natalie Worth coming in with 26 goals and 21 draws, and then co-captain Natalie Stromsky with 15 goals and 16 ground balls, and then Olivia Parker, 22 goals, and sophomore Cameron Deofine with 19 goals.
Yeah.
That's a lot of depth.
Junior goalie Augie McCarthy has 52 saves. Turn to Bel Air. They come in at 9-3 under Coach Kristen Berry. They're led by their superstar, Paige Fike. She had 7 goals in the semifinal win over Sea Mountain Wright. Leads the Cats in goals, draws, 1 turnovers, and winning the turnovers. She is sort of like, the Swiss Army knife of their team, who does it all for the Bel Air Bobcats. Fellow midfielder senior Delaney Burrows and Ronnie Manzo also goal-scoring threats, while senior attack Molly McGee leads the team in assists. It should be a very well evenly played game, a game that matches up very well. 2 coaches that are very familiar with one another. They've played, as you can say, all along against one another. And Ray, when Bel Air faces Falston, I don't care if it's tiddlywinks or what it is, it is a rivalry.
It is, and as Maddie from Falston was saying, she said, you get up for these games. The girls get up for these games. Now, I've said this before a lot of times, Don. Some of these girls play club lacrosse with each other. They've grown up playing with each other. Some of them are on the same team with each other. Some are now on the opposing team. You don't have to worry in Harford County girls lacrosse of having quality opponents all over your schedule. Sometimes ADs are asked by their head coaches, can you get us this out-of-county match? But they don't need it. They've got rivalries right in the county that are really good.
And the great thing about the new format in the UCBAC, I think folks are familiar with it perhaps, 3 divisions. You've got the Tidings division, you've got the Hatem division. Those are the 10 Harford County schools. And then the Conowingo division, that's the 5 Cecil County schools. So you still have an UCBAC that combines the 2 counties, but you've sort of separated Cecil County, especially in a sport like lacrosse, where they're not quite as proficient as the Harford schools, because they just began lacrosse maybe, 10, 15 years ago.
Well, and they make up for it with their girls softball.
Oh my, they are good. And wrestling, and there are some things that they are very good at, Cecil County. Again, it is the UCBAC Championships. They're going to be introducing now the starting lineups for both teams. Jackson Brown will be doing that. The Falston Cougars dressed in their visiting white uniforms, although Falston is the higher seed, so maybe. Actually, we're playing at Bel Air, not because Bel Air is the host team, but because this seems to be the spot that was chosen by the ADs to have the finals occur.
Well, it's a beautiful field, beautiful complex, great stands, really long stands there, Don. I had to catch my breath before we got on the air.
You know, I was comparing the stands at Harford Tech and here. I think Harford Tech's are steeper, but there are more of the stands here. And you know what they do, Ray? This is the part I don't like. They renovate the stadium every year and they make the steps steeper. Every season they do that.
They're not accounting for us old guys, are they?
Well, you're saying it's just because I'm getting older that the steps are getting older?
I included myself.
It could be the problem, yeah. Jackson Brown is our stadium announcer, English teacher here at Bel Air. Had a chance to talk to Jackson before the game. Fine, fine young man and doing a great job doing the announcing. He'll be introducing the starting teams for both the Falston Cougars and the Bel Air Bobcats. Falston coming in with a record of 7-5, having defeated Rising Sun 15-13 in the semifinals. Bel Air Bobcats 9-3. They defeated C. Milton Wright 14-12 in the semifinals. Ray, in that game, Bel Air was up by 7-0 over C. Milton Wright, and C. Milton Wright came back and almost tied them.
Yes, yeah, two very good teams. It shows the depth in this county. So I see Coach Woods here, the girls basketball coach at Falston. Very nice to see him coming out and cheering. Some of his basketball girls are probably on the lacrosse team.
Nice little crowd developing here at Bel Air. And speaking of the situation at Bel Air, we're supposed to have rain all day. Now, I don't want to jinx it, but right now it's just nice and breezy. The little blue sky out there, I'm all for it.
So this is really like such a neat thing for these young ladies to get to do, Don, play in a beautiful stadium, on a beautiful field, in a championship game, and they're on TV.
Of course, national TV. We love it. Abby Howes, number 4, being introduced. And then that looks like it's number 6, and Natalie Skronsky. There's Miss Riley being introduced. That's Arden Riley, the freshman, number 9. Here's Natalie Worth, again, one of the captains of the team, a senior. 21 draws, 9 ground balls, 2 turnovers caused. Olivia Parker is number 13, a junior. And there she is. Cameron Dauphiné, one of the starters, 19 goals, 3 assists, the sophomore. Alex Croucher, number 15, a junior. Alexa Wilson, also a defender, number 18, 5 ground balls, 1 turnover caused. That's Violet Clough, number 20, the junior. Augie McCarthy is the goalie, and you know this, Ray, better than most, that the goalie is where it all starts and it all ends, because she's the one that has to be there to make the saves. 52 saves, 48 goals allowed against Miss Augie McCarthy. Now comes the Bel Air Bobcats, the blue-shirted and blue-clad Bel Air Bobcats. Number 1 is Delaney Burrows, a midfielder. Now coming on the field, number 5 is Madison Reith. She's a defender.
Freshman defender, number 7, Ava Guanti.
Ava Guante is number 7. She is a freshman. Ray, did you play varsity sports as a freshman?
Track and field, and I was offered soccer, but I declined it.
Yeah,
I was a pipsqueak compared to the rest of them.
Good thinking. You'd be the little guy on the end of the bench. I don't want to do that. Riley Manzo. Riley has one of the leaders in the goals for Bel Air Bobcats. Also one of the leaders in causing turnovers. Looks like this is Maya Sauer, number 11, the junior, coming on the field.
She's also a basketball player.
Yeah, multi-sport athlete. Eve Crowd is a sophomore. She's number 15.
I think Darby's a basketball player, I'm not mistaken.
She is, yeah. Darby Doring, number 25. And Paige Fike, I mean, I don't want to overplay this young lady as far as an athlete is concerned, but she is one of the greatest athletes I have seen. Let's go back in the time I've been around Harford County. Ray, you're going to be so impressed with how Paige Fike plays the game the way it's supposed to be played.
I'm looking forward to it.
Elena Sinar is number 6. She is the senior goalie. So that is the lineups for both teams, and we're now going to honor our country with the playing of our national anthem. Just about ready to get started race, so folks will know 4 12-minute periods, possibility of overtime.
Yes.
The field's 100 yards long, but it's really more than that because they go behind the crease, so it's really more like 120 yards long. 10 players on the field, 12 players actually on the field for the girls' game. And it should be just an exciting game, as we said, between two teams that are evenly matched, teams that like each other a lot until they cross the line and get in competition one with the other.
Well, Don, I'm going to equate this to another sport, football. Football, you have your offense, you have your defense, you have your special teams, you have turnovers. In lacrosse, the equalizers are the draws. So, like, one team might be better with the ball, but how much do you have the ball? So you hear in football, time of possession.
Yep.
So if you have a, we'll learn tonight, but like, you know, Piper McHugh from John Carroll that we've had on before, she wins draws like crazy. And that's one of the main reasons she's going to college in a scholarship. So if you can get 70% of the draws for your team, then you have a much better chance of winning the game.
Unlike, basketball, where you take the ball out every time you score, in lacrosse, you take the center draw.
It's a 50-50.
And so if you're good at draws, you could score and get the ball right back again. We saw that in a game we did where Harford Tech kept getting draw after draw against Aberdeen, and they were able to score 19 goals because Aberdeen just seemed like they never got possession of the ball.
Sometimes they adapt rules for the fairness of the game. I mean, not to sound old, Don, but you're talking about years ago, they did a lot more jump balls than basketball.
Yeah, and let's go back even to the 1930s. They played in girls basketball. They had a jump after every score. Every time a basketball scored, they had a center jump. There was a kid in Western Maryland who scored 127 points in a game because she had a 6'2" center, and every time that they had scored a goal, she would get a jump ball, get the jump, and they would score again. So you're not going to see that here today.
Nope.
But, the team that does win the draws, Ray, you made a good point, is a team that has a big advantage.
Well, and the rules are different in boys and girls lacrosse. So, like, you have shooting space violations. So if you're an athletic, fast young lady and you can dodge well and you get that angle to the goal, the people had to have already stopped you from making that move or you're going directly to the goal. And if you do impede their shot, it's a shooting space violation, so they get a free run at the goal, and on the whistle, they get the break, so do the defenders, but 90% of the time, they're able to get off a one-on-one shot.
Big difference in boys and girls. Boys are very physical. Get a lot of contact. In girls, there's some contact, but it's mostly stick to stick. When you get bodily contact, and as you said, you get then shooting space violations. So, I've talked to both girls and boys coaches, and they say, the game is so totally different one than the other. It's similar, and they play on a similar field with the same kind of goals, but the quality of the game, or I should say the activity of the game, is quite different.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we've heard this said before, speed kills. And that's no truer than in girls lacrosse. If you if you have fast, athletic, skilled girls in your team, that speed could be the difference of the game.
Ray, we're probably wondering why the game is delayed, and I don't want to blame officials. Far be it from me to say that the referees are holding up the game, but we have one referee that we can see. The other two are on their way, so as soon as the referees get here and get in position, we'll start this game. Speaking of referees, three great young men, Jay Rickey, Josh Headley, and Frank Hanley, the three referees that will be here, I'm told, for the start of this game time at 5 o'clock. And Ray, one of the great things, too, is to see that we have back-to-back girls and boys championships here in the same venue. And Ray, we get the privilege of bringing the viewers both.
Well, you can see on the camera here that he's checking the pockets for the girls to make sure they're all legal. And I don't know if this is always a pregame activity. It probably is.
It normally happens like 15 minutes before the game.
Yes.
But because it looks like the referees are arriving maybe a little bit later, not sure what that situation is, but it was to be a 5 o'clock game, so don't go anywhere. Stay right with us. You can hear the dulcet tones of Ray Ruse and the somewhat older tones of Don Morrison. Help you to bring you this. Ray, our final event of the 2024-25 season, where did the time go?
It just flew by, and for some of these young ladies and young men tonight, they're seniors. They're counting down the days.
Yeah.
They're graduating in later May, and outside of regionals and states, these are some of their last games, and the melancholy starts to filter in for them.
Absolutely. We talk about a young team with just one senior when we're speaking of Falston, but you know that one senior is Natalie Worth is going to be gone. This is her swan song. The defending state Class 1A champion, you know that she would like nothing better than to go out as repeat champion, depending on the underclassmen, to bring that championship to the Falston Cougars.
Now, I recognize her name as well, Don, at being good at something else. I don't know if it was girls soccer or something else, but I know that I've announced that name before.
Yeah, Natalie Worth is one of those great athletes, and now we're seeing the officials have arrived, at least two of them.
Right.
We're just about ready to get started.
Well, these 5 o'clock games are tough for them, too. You know, they're usually having to take an hour of leave from work or something like that to get out here. And I always commend the officials, Don. It's a tough job. You're always wrong 50% of the time.
And 50% of the fans hate you no matter if you're right. You know, you make a call and they say, boo, kill the ump or whatever. Come on.
Now, TV replay has helped umpires and officials and hurt them. But a fast game like this, Don, that's hard to keep up with every little thing. I mean, they can't tell completely if the ball goes completely across the line. Goalie might rake it out before it does. And
it's all interpretation. Here we go now for the draw. Natalie Worth, the young lady we were talking about, number 10 in white, she will be taking the draw for Falston. And I can't see the number of the young lady for Bel Air, but we'll give it to you as soon as we get the chance.
20-something, but I'm not sure.
Here we go, the draw. He will toss the ball up. And we'll see who possesses the ball first time here as we're underway in the Girls UCBAC Championship. The Bel Air Bobcats will now take possession of the ball. Here come the Bobcats going from right to left across your screen in the dark blue uniforms. That is number 5, Darby Doring. Darby was a young lady who took the draw and won that draw. Bobcats with possession. Bobcats finishing the year at 9-3. They were the number 4 seed in this 4-team tournament that's coming up here at the end of the year.
Be interesting to see how much the wind impacts things today, Don.
Boy, good point. I was going to ask you that. The wind is blowing fairly crisply across the field from right to left.
I mean, it is a hard ball, and they are throwing it normally pretty hard, too. But the wind can still...
That's Paige Fike with the ball, the young lady we told you about, number 27. Cut off. Doring now with it. And when we said no contact, and there is a little contact, and right away you see the official blowing the whistle.
So the player that did the foul has to go behind the person with the ball, and that creates a one-man-up situation for a couple seconds.
That's Darby Doring with the pass inside and the shot, and a great save by Falston's Augie McCarthy. That ball was headed for the crease.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be in. That was a point-blank shot.
And it was high, too, so Augie had to get her stick up real quick to be able to make that save. Here comes Falston, their first possession of the game. About a minute and a half into this contest.
So I talked about speed. That young lady just ran upfield and ran away from 3 players.
Abby Howes, the number 4 junior, with the ball. You're right, speed, as you said, does kill in this game. Natalie Worth, good pass over to Violet Clough, number 20, and behind the crease. Ray, what are they doing behind that crease? What are they trying to do?
So they're looking for cutters, and you'll see when they get it behind the crease, they have 2 choices.
There's Worth with the ball.
Yep.
Excuse me, Ray. Might get a shot off. Boy, good defense by the Bobcats.
So they look for cutters, or they go around the crease themselves and shoot. That's a
There's
good
a shot and a goal. It looks like it may have been for the, it looks like Violet Clough, I think,
13?
number 20. Or was
I
it,
have 13.
let's see if we can see.
Goal scored by number 13.
Yep, number 13, you're absolutely right. That's Olivia Parker. Parker, who has 31 draws and 3 ground balls, 22 goals, now has 23 goals, scores at 4:56 left here in the first. Here you'll see the replay how Parker is able to score. Gets it by the goalie on the low right side. Elena Sinar could not get her stick down to make that stop.
Talk about a game of inches. That barely got inside the pipe. That was a very accurate shot.
So Parker with the goal for the Falston Cougars. So Falston takes a 1-0 lead here.
Oh, nice job by Worth to snag that out of the air. One hand.
Here comes Worth on the move.
The other young lady had a better angle to that, and she just reached up over and grabbed it.
Natalie's a tall young lady,
Yes.
too, and using that height to her great advantage. Falston passing it around, looking for cutters. A little bit of halfway pass here, looking for a shot. Violation called. Looks like it's going to be another penalty effort here for Falston.
I've actually heard girls.
That's Dauphiné with the shot.
Oh,
a little bit
just missed
wide.
it.
Sorry, Ray.
No, I've actually heard girls say they wish that the game would be allowed to be a little bit more physical.
Yeah, the game has changed over the years. In the beginning, when it first was introduced in 1975 in Harford County, it was, I'm going to say like it is, it was kind of boring. It was slow. And, you know, sort of the rules were made so there would be no contact. And as you said, Ray, it's loosened up over the years. Here come the Bobcats looking to try to get even. Sarah Fatkin, number 3, Sarah Jr.
Coached her father in soccer, and he's here tonight. He's a wonderful man and a great athlete himself.
Bobcats moving around, got the wind at their back. We talked about the wind, Ray, and if the wind does anything, it helps the players in the way they're running with the wind as opposed to going against it.
So Bel Air seems very deliberate in their passing and very patient to try to build the play here. Oops, a little missed pass here. See if she can save it. Nice save.
Nice job by Doring to be able to keep the ball in bounds and keep it in Bel Air's possession. Almost a takeaway.
It looks like a slash
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, you can slash the stick, but you can't hit the body. That's Fike with the ball. Has it taken away. Good job defensively by Abby Howes. Howes has the ball slashed away. She'll keep it.
So I think it's where you hit the stick, Don, that matters.
Yeah,
If you hit it at one part of the stick, it's okay. If you hit it too close to the hands, it's not.
Boston on the attack. It's been
Cutter, wide open in the
beautiful
middle.
Worth, the shot and the goal. Beautiful pass, beautiful goal. Natalie Worth scoring her 27th goal of the year. That one coming at 1:39 of the first period.
She was wide open, Don. That was a great cut. She hesitated on her move and then froze it and then took off.
You'll watch how she gets a great pass too. Didn't even take time to, catch the ball. He catches it, takes 2 steps and fires. Whoa, low outside. Sinar not able to make the stop. 2-0.
So did you notice how the defense seemed to clear out for her? I mean, the offense seemed to clear out for her. Like everybody took their players out wide, and then when she cut to the goal, she had like a large space there to catch and shoot.
Remember, Falston beat Bel Air 12-10 during the regular season. Probably why Falston was the number 1 seed. But Natalie Worth, again, you said it before, Ray. She reached up and just snagged that ball.
Yes, I saw them practicing it in a warm-up drill. They were doing one-handed reach up with the bottom of the stick for a high ball, and that's one of the reasons they do it.
Falston again with possession. It's been all Falston here in this first half, or first period, I should say. I don't think Bel Air has a shot on goal yet.
No,
Maybe
even
the
when
one.
Bel Air had possession, they couldn't get the shot off.
They had that one shot on a great stop by Augie, but you're right, that's the only shot they've had.
Nice cut.
Looking to try to get the cutoff, has the ball knocked away. Good defense. Worth comes up with it.
1-on-1.
Bobcats trying to play defense. That ball a bit wide. That shot, a difficult shot by Dauphiné. Tried to shoot it left-handed.
So they're going to give her the shooting. They're going to give her a run at the goal for that foul. She got knocked down.
Cameron Dauphiné. Cameron, a sophomore. Shot and goal. Dauphiné makes it 3-0 with, what is that, Ray? 6 minutes and 34 seconds. That clock, I'm having a little trouble.
Yeah, we're barely halfway through, not even halfway through the first period, 6:39. So, Don, on that shot, watch this replay. You'll notice that she shoots very quickly after she takes off. So watch this. She breaks, she shoots right away. And why did she do that? Because the defender closed down on her right away. She didn't have time to take any more steps. She still made it.
Gave you some wrong times on those first two goals because the sun shining on that scoreboard made it look like something different. 6:34, Dauphiné's goal makes it 3-0. Well, you're down 3-0. That's not a position you want to be in, Ray.
No, that was a nice snag there. But
that spike, 27, able to get it. Dauphiné, nope, not able to get it. Check it, not Dauphiné, but it was During, number 25 for Bel Air. Bobcats with the ball. During
Sarah
loses it.
Sarah Falconer fighting for it.
Yeah.
Good job finding the pass right away with two people on her.
Here come the Cougars again. They don't pay off for time of possession, but Ray, if they did, Falston would be well ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Moving around.
Bel Air's in a big need for a surge of momentum here.
You don't want to get down, by that much. Remember, the Bobcats had a 7-0 lead over Seamilton Wright back on Friday's semifinal, and Seamilton Wright closed. So it's possible to come back. And hey, here comes another penalty effort. This looks like Peyton Wheeler with the ball. Wheeler.
She got in further.
And Wheeler gets the shot and the goal at 5. Is that 5:29, Ray?
Yes.
It's like 5:29.
5:29. So I think we're going to have a timeout here for Bel Air, and it's a very appropriately called timeout, Don. You gotta change something here, don't you?
Wow. I mean, this is such a surprise. You look at how close they were during the regular season at 12-10, and now all of a sudden the Falston Cougars 4-0, and it's not been fluky 4-0. There you go. There's the goal.
So you see what she did there. She went to the goalie's right and then drew the goalie over a half a step and then threw it to the goalie's left.
And Elaine Senard, you can't blame her because it's been one-on-one and no defender between she and the goal.
There have been two free runs at the goal and a wide open young lady down the middle of the Worth girl.
Yeah, if you're Kristen Berry now, the coach for the Bel Air Bobcats, what are you saying to your team other than things we can't repeat on air?
So you may be switching a person on the mark. You might say so-and-so can't keep up with this player, so we're going to have to take away their best player by putting another person on them that can match them speed for speed.
Yeah. But it's Parker, it's Worth, it's Dauphiné, and it's Wheeler. So Falston has goals from 4 different players. So, now Worth certainly has been the difference in making the draw the way she's done it and being able to distribute. But this Falston team right now is looking like state champions.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They are state champions.
They've done it many times. Between girls soccer and girls lacrosse, I can't imagine how many that they have so far.
And you look at the boys, which we're going to see later, the Falston boys, they've won 10 state championships, 2 in a row. So you got the Falston school that won both boys and girls state class 1A lacrosse last year.
Well, people want to say they're good for a small school. No, they're just good.
They're just good. Yeah. Worth gets the draw again, and Falston one more time with the ball. Coming up on the 5-minute mark.
They're really spreading it out now.
No hurry, and you can imagine that, leading by 4-0. Take a good shot. Worth finds behind the crease.
There goes a cutter. She found her.
And the
she got
shot
it.
and the goal. Is that number
14?
14 is, that's That's Dolphin A again.
Don, if we show the replay on this, watch how slim of an edge she got on her defender, and the player with the assist put it right on a dime, put it right exactly where her stick was, so she could just catch and shoot immediately.
And up high where she didn't have to, reload. She just took a couple of steps and fired. 5-0. Wow. I mean, I don't know that anybody would have believed you if you could have said after the first 5 minutes it's going to be 5-0 Boston. Playing on the Bel Air field, and again, it's not because Bel Air was #1 seed, just that's where the site is that this game's
the first thing we need to do is start winning more draws.
Which they haven't won.
They won 2 in the beginning, but not anything since then.
Here come the Cougars again. Up by 5-0 inside 5 minutes in the first period. Natalie Worth.
And one thing we don't know about the season, Don, is has Bel Air lost any players' injuries? Has Falston returned some players from injuries? Those things matter.
And the other thing we talked about having no seniors, but you've played a full season, so if you're a sophomore, you're really a junior now, because you've got that sophomore season. Worth looking for a shot, has it taken away, and Bel Air finally comes up with a defensive play.
Couldn't pick up the loose ball. Those ground balls matter. That could have been a turnover of possession there, but she couldn't pick the ball up. Ground balls are the basics of lacrosse. Like soccer has its basics, football has its basics. She's going to get in there.
Shooting, goal! Natalie Worth, lower right corner, past Sinar. That's the 6th goal of the game at 3:46.
She's pinpoint accurate. I'll tell you, that's her second just inside the sidebar. Wow.
Worth has 2, and now Dolphin A has 2. 6-0. Amazing.
Yeah. They're averaging a goal every minute and a half here.
You'll see how Worth just so speedy and shoots the ball. Ray, you said it perfectly. How accurate was that shot?
Yes. I think she's got a magnet to that lower right corner there.
Yeah. If you're Elena Sinar, you've got to cover that entire area, high, low, both sides. That ball was in a position where she just could not make the save. Ray, you said it. The first thing Bel Air has to do, win this draw.
Yeah. Almost. I got one. Falston still gets it.
Cougars come away with it. Here comes Falston looking for a 7th goal.
I think the Bel Air coach called for a sub for Worth. Said, I think Worth needs a break. I think she needs a break, coach.
Yeah, you can't do that, though. We're good friends, but yeah, Natalie Worth, number 10, just been a star. Boy, great passing, too, Ray.
Yeah, they're very accurate. You don't see very often when they're passing that they have to reset. That could be a shot.
Oh, good defense, yeah. Bobcats finally able to make some good defense. Madison Reith, number 5, closed it out.
She's trying to make a drive. Oh, she got it. But
looked like it could have been a penalty, but was not called.
Yeah.
So you might have gotten hit up high on the body.
Good job behind the goal, picking the ball up on a missed shot. This
Worth,
should be a
great
good
pass.
Oh, nice.
Good save by Sinar.
Now, see, she got fouled there trying to take the ball out in the crowd. So what I would do if I was Bel Air right now, Don, is I would take the ball and possess it as long as you're allowed first, just to, give yourself a break defensively and then build the play.
And we mentioned that Bel Air was leading C. Milton 7-0 in the semifinal, and C. Milton came back and lost by 2 eventually. Yeah. So it's not impossible to come back, but you're down 7 goals, Ray. You got to do something quickly.
Yes. The goalie's way out of the goal, so she's got to make an accurate pass, so there'll be an open net opportunity.
2 minutes left here, inside 2 minutes in this first period.
So I don't think there's a clock in girls lacrosse. Is there in boys?
Yeah, there is. It's sort of in the referee's head. The clock is, are you stalling or are you really making a move to the goal? He can call that. Wouldn't think that Bel Air would want to be stalling down by 7 goals. Get back in the goal. Down 6.
Yeah, I would say this, Don. I agree with you on principle, but they just needed a break.
Yeah. The Lady Burros. Here come the Bobcats. They haven't been on the attack for so long. Notice the official allows the play to continue as long as Bel Air maintains possession.
Yeah, they need to spread out a little bit here, link some passes together, see what kind of strategy they're going to use with cutters, or if the attack players are going to come out from behind the goal and try to roll to the goal.
Foudy had the ball momentarily. That's Doring.
They do look like they're playing for the last shot, like you do in basketball, Don. Oh, this could be the first one.
That's Spike. And that is a goal. Finally,
Yes.
the Bel Air Bobcats are able to break through at 45 seconds left in the first period. The goal by Paige Pike.
And she put that ball low. It might have gone through the goalie's legs. I can't tell.
Yeah. You'll be able to see it here as Paige Pike will get the pass and shoots it right low, either between the legs or to the one side, but it was a low shot. Very, very well done by Paige Pike.
And even that was not an easy play because she had girls coming from both sides of her, but she fought her way through there. Now this next 45 seconds means a lot.
Yeah. If the Bobcats can score again, get the momentum, into the second period. What you hate to have happen is if Falston were able to get another goal to recapture the momentum.
Okay, so I guess the one player reached around the other one from behind, which they weren't allowed to do.
Here come the Bobcats looking for a goal inside 30 seconds.
They should be holding it again for very last second. She's
Okay.
open.
Pass a little bit low, unable to make that reception. Foul is going to be called. Looks like the Bobcats are going to get a chance here with 23.8 seconds left. It's Delaney Burrows, number 1, with the ball.
Closed in fast. Oops, too hot. She got fouled again, Don.
Got knocked off her pins. If it's a common foul, no player goes off the court. But if it is it's just going to be a common foul. So she'll get another opportunity.
So notice who one of the players is to her right. It's Worth because of her speed.
Burrows shoots it. Goal!
It's in.
Burrows, boy, is that a big one for the Bel Air Bobcats.
Wow.
As Burrows is able to score, that one coming at 17. Is that 17.7 seconds?
Yes.
So within a 20-second period of time, Bel Air, who had been, it seemed like hopelessly out of the game, now down by 4. Still, it's a pretty big disadvantage, but still, you'll be able to see this now.
Goalie came out at her. She put it low.
McCarthy unable to make the save. We give Burrows a lot of credit. That was a very important goal.
So now whatever team wins this is going to run right down pretty quick and shoot. So
Battled around.
it's on the ground.
Clock inside 10. Fight comes away with it. Fouled.
You better throw
Clock
it right
still
away.
running,
You
5
better throw it
seconds.
away. Gotta throw it.
Looks like they're not going to be able to get a shot off here.
They weren't supposed to start the clock
And now
right away.
now it is 2 seconds, 1 second. And that will be the end of the first period with the Falston Cougars leading by 6-0. That's the bad news if you're Bel Air.
Yeah.
The good news is, Ray, they came back,
Yeah.
took the momentum back, and got within 4 goals rather than 6.
That was a really big last 2 minutes for them. And you know how sometimes you just like to throw the other team off of their game and different sports. And I really think getting that ball and possessing it for like a minute and a half straight kind of slowed Falston down and allowed Bel Air to collect their thoughts there a little bit, and they got 2 goals.
Boy, great point, Ray. I was thinking that why you're going to stall when you're down 6 goals. Well, like you said, they changed the momentum, then got themselves started and scored 2 goals like that back to back. Those goals within, one at 45 seconds, the other at 17 seconds to make it 6-2. So it's not a new ball game by any stretch of the imagination.
But it's a ball game.
It is a ball game.
So, Don, I want to point something out. Beginning of the game when Bel Air won 2 draws, they passed it around for a while. And it's almost like a half-court basketball team against a fast-break basketball team. They wanted it to slow down. They just had a few turnovers on low passes, and Falston got possession. So I think you have 2 different games happening here.
Well, it'll be interesting to see who takes momentum as we start the second period. We have our third official now, Jay Rickey, Josh Headley, and Frank Hanley. There you see them on the field. All three very handsome young men. Eh?
I like the one guy's hairstyle. It makes me feel good.
Stop it now. Let's not talk about hairstyles
Well,
here.
I don't have any either, Don.
Well, yeah.
But he looks good with it, man.
He does. Me, I kind of just look bald. He looks like
He looks like a model.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now what I like what they're doing, and you see basketball officials doing this and others. They're strategizing themselves. They're talking about the style of the game. Watch out for number so-and-so. Getting borderline on the physicality. Watch this one on the stick checks. And that's good officiating, to be able to break the game down like that when you have a break.
Getting ready to start the second period. 2 goals by Natalie Worth. 2 goals by Cameron Dauphiné for Falston. They're the only multiple goal scorers. Goals by Fike and Burrows for Bel Air. So it is 6-2 now as we start the second period of play. They'll switch it around. Falston will be going from right to left across your TV screen in the white uniforms. Bel Air Bobcats in the blue going from left to right.
Don, I don't usually say this until the second half, but the first few minutes of a second half usually are really big importance. That's really important now because of the 6-0 surge and then the 2-0 surge. These first couple minutes might dictate a lot about what we see the rest of this game.
Well, I think you're right. Natalie Worth again.
Nice snag right out of the
Beautiful
air.
take by out of the air. Takes it by
Look
Falston.
at that speed. She just went right downfield.
Oh, she gets hammered.
I was just getting ready to ask you, what constitute a off-the-field penalty?
I think you just saw one. Olivia Parker. No, I don't know. They're not
They
going to.
didn't take her off.
No, they're just going to give her the ball. Olivia Parker, number 13, with the ball, who got hammered. Falston able to take possession. Ray, you said it. Looks like the Cougars ready
There's
to
a cutter.
overtake the Cougar. And a shot and a goal. That by Dauphiné. She has the hat trick now. We only played, 20 seconds of the second period?
Yes. Falston's very good at that cut, Don. They almost catch their defender peeking at the ball, and then they just take off, and they cut right behind them.
You'll see the replay here.
There's a cut. Boom. She sort of got a pick there.
Boy, what a play by Dauphiné.
Do you see that? Worth made a pick on her defender, and then she went right around her like a basketball pick and was wide open.
Frank Mazzanotti, the great Frank Mazzanotti, lacrosse fan, used to tell me that lacrosse, if you want to understand lacrosse, understand basketball. Same concepts, pick and rolls, screens, that kind of thing. And he was right there. Bobcats whistle blows, but they maintain possession, so they don't stop play.
So what I'm gathering from that, Don, is that if you didn't have the ball knocked out of your hand, they just blow the whistle to acknowledge the foul. You can keep running. If the defender doesn't give you the little bit of leeway to run, then they'll stop it and call it.
If you lose the ball subsequently, then they stop the play and give you the ball back. Let's see if the Bobcats now, they were headed within 4. They're back to down by 5. Trying to recapture that momentum they had at the end of the first period.
So they're going around the horn, passing the ball around. It looked like they're trying to have some possession here again.
Doring passes it behind the crease.
I haven't seen many cutters. There's one.
There's
She's
Fike.
right open.
Fike catches, but can't get it off. And now shoots it again. Still can't get it in. Paige Fike almost had the shot off. Recovered by the Bobcats.
I thought I heard a whistle there, but I don't know what it was for.
Yeah, I don't either. Beller must have been fouled, but maintained possession.
That was an interesting play. Lost the ball midair, regained it by herself.
There's Fike again. A little bit of contact, no call.
Oh.
There's a little bit of excess contact.
Yeah, stick towards the head is not allowed.
Darby Doring.
So she gets a run, but not a free run. So if she beat one person one-on-one, she can get a shot off. But
it's Fike who gets fouled again. This time it looks like they will give a yellow card, so it looks like the Cougars are going to be playing a person down here for 2 minutes.
Hit her in the face with a stick. So she gets a free run. Look at this angle. She got Worth right to her right there, Don, and Worth can close down space in a second.
So it'll be 11 on 12, or 12 on 11 here for the next 2 minutes for the Bobcats. See if they can get that goal. Boy, great
Oh,
defense.
see what I mean about Worth speed?
Shot. Bit wide. Good
Now,
shot, just a little bit wide.
As
by
you
the
see, if
Bobcats.
you're the closest to the end line when the shot is made, you get the possession.
Riley Manzo with that shot, just barely missed that lower right crease. Inside 10 now, approaching the 9-minute mark.
So I don't know whether it's a 1-minute penalty or a 2. Shooting space violation there, so she gets a free run.
Paige Fike, number 27, the do-it-all star for the Bel Air Bobcats. Waiting for the whistle.
Look at Worth behind her trying to reach out and hit the back of her stick if she can.
Oh, shot and goal.
Yes. Now, Don, I talked about the speed factor. Worth was the one that had the foul, so she had to start behind her. So the other girls weren't able to cut her off in time to take the shot away.
Good point. 8:59, the goal by Natalie Worth, her second goal of the game. Back within 4 now at 7-3. Watch Worth, what Ray was talking about, how she's able to...
Worth is behind her, so she couldn't get to her. But
Yeah,
the other
and
two-
she didn't even take a run. She took, what, one step and
Yeah.
then fired it right at the feet of Augie McCarthy.
Well, that's good adaptability. She doesn't think she can outrun them and get 3 more steps, so I got to make sure I get the shot off.
And shot it with perfect accuracy right at the feet.
One thing the Bel Air girls are doing, Don, is they're recognizing that they need to shoot low at the Bel Air goalie. Because Bel Air goalie is excellent at saving the high shots.
Yeah. Here comes Foston, Natalie Worth, number 10. Whistle blows. Let's see. Timeout on the field. No, they're giving the ball back to the Bobcats. I'm not sure what that was all about.
Okay, I think you're only allowed to have a certain amount of players on each side of the half.
Okay.
And I think somebody else came off sides.
And I'm not sure the violation has expired yet or not.
Yeah, I wondered if it had to do with scoring, but it
She's-
doesn't because she's still waiting there.
She's still in the penalty box, if you will.
I think it's a straight minute or 2 minutes that the violation lasts for.
Yeah, I believe it's 2 minutes. And
Now-
yes, you're right. It's not a releasable penalty. In other words, when you score, then you don't get to come in. You have to wait the full penalty time. And if you're Foston, you're in no hurry. You know, just maintain the ball, work that penalty off. Natalie Worth says, 3 of you can chase me. I'll just move the ball around.
Well, that also means somebody has to be wide open. If you got 3 people on you, they almost look like they're playing a little keep away right
They
now.
are, yeah,
They're,
waiting
they're
for-
killing the penalty.
Exactly, is what they're doing. Waiting for the penalty to expire. Should be just, and it is over. Now we're back even at 12
And they
12.
found that player, but nice defense there.
It was.
It was number
That
27
was
for
Fike
Bel Air.
again. We talked about Fike, Ray, how she's the kind of person that scores, yeah, but she does everything for the Bobcats. Kind of like Natalie Worth does for Foston.
There's little intangibles that matter in sports.
Absolutely.
Fighting for the ground ball, causing turnovers. But what do we notice about both of them? They're both fast.
Talking about Worth and Fike.
Yes.
Yep. Skilled, fast.
The track coach in me is coming out, and I want them both on the 4x100 relay.
Oh,
Let's see if we get a cutter here, Don. That's what they normally set up. Oh, she's got to clear up by herself. And she gets the shot off.
oh,
Nice
great
save.
save. Sinar is able to save that ball.
Now, see what she did there? She deliberately flicked it back into her goalie crease because nobody can go in that crease besides the goalie.
You made the point about the low shot. That time, Sinar, the shot was a bit higher. Sinar able to make the stop.
Yeah?
Hope you're enjoying this game half as much as Ray and I are. You know, we knew it was going to be a good competitive game between 2 arch rivals. Probably, arguably, the 2 best teams in the UCBAC.
Yes.
That's what you want to see, Ray, for a championship game.
Well, like we said, the 2 semifinal lost teams lost 2 goal games.
Yep.
So we really have some depth.
Yep.
And I think Rising Sun is a small school too, so they should be a player in the 1A, 2A as well.
Yeah, I think Rising Sun may be 2A now. They've grown in recent years, and I may be wrong about that.
Look at that crowd she just ran through.
Oh, and down she goes. Darby Doring. Darby says, come on. Blow the whistle. I'm being hammered. Bobcats have the ball, 5:50 and counting left in the first half.
Well, in the last, 8 minutes, they've had a 3-1 edge.
Yeah. It was 6-0, before the first period was over. Bobcats scored the last 2 goals of that first period, and one of the 2 here. There's the run. Boy, great defense.
It was excellent.
Wow.
But they eventually called shooting space.
But she was headed for the goal, had a clear opening, and then was cut off by 2 of those white-shirted defenders.
Now, this is an interesting angle, Don. I would cut in front of Worth to the left and give yourself a better angle. Let's see if she does that. She did.
Manzo.
And she worked. Yep.
That's Manzo with the goal.
Don, she did exactly what I said.
You
She
know,
made me look
heard
smart.
You. No, she heard you. That's amazing. You got like an earpiece in her ear that she could get it.
Well, you know how we say sometimes in pro sports we mic people up? We have her mic'd up.
Oh.
Sometimes those mic ups don't work very well because the players mic'd up say things they're not supposed to.
Here, you'll see the play and watch how Ray described.
She cut left, opened up space, didn't allow Worth to defend her.
Amazing, amazing. And was able to defeat the goalie, Augie McCarthy. Augie thought the shot was coming to her left, ended up being to her right, up high, where she couldn't stop it.
Don, that's a true example of I can say what they should do, I can't do what they do.
Yeah, absolutely. I always tell my kids, do what I say, not what I do. But Dad, well, here we go now. The momentum has shifted. Ray, you said 4 of the last 5 goals for the Bobcats. Boy, they were hopelessly down 6-0.
Yes.
Boston had dominated. Now the worm has turned.
Yes, got ourselves a game.
Worth.
Oops, just missed it. Belair comes out with it.
Great job by Manzo coming in with the ball. Here's Molly McGee. Bobcats, if they can score here and come back within 2.
Yeah, I think they definitely like the slow down game, the possession. Falston loves the run. And Belair's showing some patience here. Belair likes to come around the back of the goal a little bit more and not have as many cutters, and Falston likes to have cutters going to the goal and get fed. Let's see where they position her here, Don. So this is the kind where the player defends them.
It's Delaney Burrows with the ball.
Be hard to get through there. Oh, he had a nice play.
Great pass.
Nice.
Great. Oh, what a
Oh,
save.
wow.
Oh, my goodness. McCarthy reached her big stick up and pulled that ball right out of the midair.
That was a trifecta. That was an amazing pass, an amazing catch, and an amazing save.
Here comes Worth.
Flying downfield. She might go all the way to goal.
Just finally cut off.
Yes.
Kind of reminds, Tim Recca was talking about me running across the field before the game. That sort of reminded me of me running.
Yeah, you looked about the same, Don.
No.
You got 30 yards across the field while she ran 100 in about the same time.
Then I had to walk for a while. Oh, goodness. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left. Boston.
Nice roll. Good cutoff by number 7
Oh,
there.
it was, yeah, the Bobcat defender making that play. Esquante, number 7, made that stop.
So we're down to 3 minutes in this quarter. It's going to be an important 3 minutes. Oh, she's in on goal, Don.
A little wide. Looked like she had an open shot that time. 3:06 and counting left in this period. Falston retains possession. Ray, you made the point. It's the closest player to the ball when it goes out of bounds. That team gets possession.
What you don't know about that young lady's shot is she left-handed or right-handed? Oh, she got in there.
Moving, what a shot.
Wow, 22.
Number 22. Let me look on my. That
Looks like a substitute.
it does. That's
Maddie
Miller?
Miller?
Yeah.
It's a freshman, Don.
Wow.
She didn't look like a freshman on that
Not
play,
at
did
all.
she?
Boy, she played it well. 2 minutes and 49 seconds. You'll watch how she's able to dodge and get all the way through.
Multiple dodges. Jeez.
Maddie Miller. What a shot. That one now makes it 8-4.
Yeah, that was important for Falston's momentum a little bit there.
Absolutely. When you had Belair coming back the way they were. And you said it, Ray, a freshman coming off the bench and scoring for Falston.
Yes. That's a statement play, Don. Hey, coach, play me more.
You see
That's how you do it.
You see that replay, Coach?
I'm going to send that clip to you in the email, Coach, how good I looked there.
And Ray, she did. That was not an easy goal.
No.
She was cut off, able to switch hands.
Nice
Worth
snag.
again. Goodness, that young lady.
She must practice that one-handed reach for that ball way up high like that. That's a lot because she's so good at that.
Tall and angular, able to outreach her opponent.
So they may play for last possession here too, but we'll see. It's a whole 2:30. So what you do here, Don, you mentioned it before, is if you have a good shot, you take it. If you don't, you pull it back out and you work it around.
So impressed with Falston's passing ability. Pinpoint passes, great catches. And it's not
She's
easy.
got a one-on-one.
Oh,
Oops.
down she goes.
Take
And
herself out there.
yeah, I think she just tripped. I don't think it was a foul at all.
I think
Belair
that was
gets
what
the
you
ball.
call the turf monster.
Came up and bit her right on the
Yes.
ankle. That's Eve Kraut, the sophomore, number 15, who came up with the ball.
But Don, the turf monster gets me when I'm just walking across the field.
More and more as I get older.
My kids love to watch me trip and stuff. They
Yeah.
think, you know.
Funny. Yeah,
They said, you were a good athlete at once? I said, yes.
prove it. I have no tape. I can't do it.
So you got a nice one. Oh, she got inside there. She's looking for a cutter there,
Yeah,
Don.
no cutter. You're right.
Yeah, there's one. But see, they're not getting quite the space that the Falston cutters get.
It was Delaney Burrows, number 1, who
Oh,
was
she just
looking for
dropped
the
it.
cutter. Doring maintains possession.
She got fouled. But
Still
they
has
kept
the
it
ball.
going. Oh, flick that in. See, sometimes they'll ball on the ground. They'll just try to scoop it in.
Yeah. Fight trying to get the ball. They're going to say it's Belair. It's Falston ball.
Yeah, they didn't like the way she slashed at the ball there. This could be big, Don, because Belair does not want to give up another goal. She's going right to goal. Oh,
And
that
she
could be
gets
a
fouled. Let's see if that's going to be a yellow card. No,
signaling something, but he didn't.
No, just going to say it's a shooting violation.
We are having some referees in the stands tell us there should be a card. A nice spin.
Oh, and a great shot. What a catch. What a shot. Trying to get a number on the young lady who made that shot.
That was an interesting shot. She caught that mid-level, waist high, and just kept the stick low and sidearmed it.
Yeah, it's number 8. Thank you. That's Peyton Wheeler. Peyton Wheeler is sophomore. Her first goal. Watch Wheeler.
Nice pass. Catch it mid-level, low.
Oh, what a shot.
Wow. Now that's a momentum shift there too, Don. 2 goals in less than a minute.
Absolutely. 30.9, 38 seconds left.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right, Falston, with those 2 goals.
Takes the wind out of your sails a little bit. Belair's got to regain their composure and say, we got back in the game before, we could do it again.
9-4 with 38.9 seconds left in the half.
Here she goes. She's got a stick on it. She looks like she might have got hit in the head a little bit there. There's Doring.
Doring down again. Doring's been down a couple of times.
She's a tough player, Don.
She is. I'd still be laying on the floor saying, please,
Trainer,
come
trainer.
help me.
Now they got to rush this a little bit now. You don't want to do it immediately, but
Pike cut off.
she wants to go to goal so bad.
Boy, look at that defense. Doring. They're going to stop the clock at 12.1 seconds, and Fike will have a run at the goal. Passes off to Doring. Doring looking to get the shot off. Great defense by Falston. Great pass.
Oh.
And a nice deflection by goalie McCarthy.
I couldn't tell if it was a goalie save or hit the crossbar.
Yeah, I think she touched it
Yeah.
and went over the goal.
That's 2 good saves she's made like that on a high play in the last 5 minutes.
9-4 the score here at the halftime. And Ray, you said it. It was a 6-0 lead for Falston. And then here comes Belair scoring 4 of the next 5 goals. But Falston has an answer, and they're comfortably ahead at 9-4 as we go to halftime. Don't you go away. Ray Ruse, Don Morrison will be back with you. It's the UCBAC Girls Lacrosse Championship from Belair High School. We are back with you at Bel Air High School. It is the Bel Air Bobcats and the Falston Cougars. Ray Roos in the championship game of the UCBAC. It is the first in history for this new format where instead of it being the old Susquehanna versus the Chesapeake, it's the three divisions, the winners of those three divisions, plus they take a fourth team that had the best record among those that didn't win a division, have the semifinals as they did on Friday, this being a Monday, and then the survivors of that semifinal are playing today. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And to me, it is a wonderful format. It's a great idea that they had to be able to change the format to have a true UCBAC champion.
Well, I'm not only honored, but I'm a fan of it. I'm honored to be here for the first game, but I love the format.
Yep. We are just about ready to start our second half. The Falston Cougars jumped out to a 6-0 lead. Bel Air scored 4 of the next 5 goals to close within 2 goals, but now Falston has retaken the momentum, scoring the last 2 goals of that first half to lead by 9-4, and that's where we are.
Well,
As the Bobcats going from right to left in those blue uniforms, Falston from left to right in the white.
Riley almost got cut off by the official trying to get that ball. I thought she was going to push him for a second there.
Get out of the way, strike guy. Zebra. Yeah.
So great for them to start off with a draw win. That's really good for them.
Yep. There's Paige Fike driving, cut off. Great defensive play by Falston. Fike is hammered right in the face, it looks like. That's going to cost Falston a 2-minute penalty.
Yeah, that could be the momentum Bel Air needs.
Yeah. Fike will get the shot. Wind picking up just a little bit here. Sun has sort of set. The clouds are rolling in. So what had been kind of a surprise mild day has turned into a little bit, still nice day.
Very nice.
But a little breezy. Fike, shot, goal!
Wow, from way out there.
Whoa, that's called, I know, stinking run on the goal.
She wound up for that shot like from the other goal. I mean, man, that was amazing.
Now, how would you like to be the goalie to see Paige Fike winding up? Watch this. She takes, one step? Boom!
I'd like to see what the speed gun says on that shot there, Don.
I like my sound effects. Boom! I feel like John Madden.
That's what it felt like for the goalie. That ball was over her left shoulder before she could blink.
Yeah. Augie McCarthy says, I want to be somewhere else when that ball whistles by my ear. So now it's a 9-5.
We talked about the toughness of being an official. Being a goalie in any sport, let alone lacrosse and hockey, that takes some bravery.
Paige Fike, her second goal. Dauphiné has 3 goals for the Falston Cougars. Back to 9-5, and now it's a 4-goal advantage. Remember, Bel Air still has the person up for 2 minutes after that penalty was called. Ray, if you're Falston, just keep the ball. Mm-hmm. You let those seconds tick away.
Clock is your friend when you're up by 4.
Natalie Worth now.
They're doing more of a sliding defense on Bel Air now. Oh, she almost picked that off.
Almost a great defensive play. The she being number 15, Eve Kraut, sophomore, who just about had a steal on the ball.
Nice dodge. She uses the crease to her advantage to make the defender run around it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Falston wants to play keep away again, Don.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of it right now. That's Arden Riley, the freshman, number 9. Ray, you made a good point using that crease to her advantage.
She made her do it again, so she's, let's see if...
Couldn't be more than a minute, if that, left in that penalty.
So the Falston team is playing in a manner of, if I can get a good shot off, I will. But if I can't, we'll kill clock.
Cameron Dauphiné.
Nice
There's a
job.
takeaway by the Bobcats.
Nice body shield there.
Good job by Bel Air to come up with the interception. Here they come, looking for a breakaway.
Got a lot of crowd around her right now.
That's Riley Manzo, number 9, with the ball. Gets it over to Kayla Foudy. Foudy making the pass. Now we're even. The 12th
That
person
seemed like
comes
that was
back
a
on.
1 minute penalty. I was told before that there could be a different lengths of the penalty based on the foul.
It was a pretty hard foul hitting across the face, so maybe just the 2 minutes went quicker than we thought.
Maybe it did.
Because Boston, remember, was delaying. They kind of played with the ball behind the net. Right now the Bobcats with it, looking to pull back within 3.
Doring likes to look for the pick and the one-on-ones. Offensive foul, Don. You don't see
Whoa.
many of them.
The old push down, and now the turnover to the Boston Cougars. We were as close as 7-4. That at 5:09 when Riley Manzo scored. Boston scored 2 goals to make it 9-4. Now the Bobcats back within 4 at 9-5. Here come the Cougars. Arden Riley.
I'm looking for that delayed cutter here soon. It's been a staple of Boston's game. They're clearing it out right now like hardly anybody's in the crease. By the yellow line, there's very little people in there.
Again, you've got a 4-goal advantage here, no big hurry. Now looking to cut.
Oh, she's
Fake,
all the
fake.
way in.
Shooting. Boy, that's that young lady that came in and scored the goal, Miller.
Seems to be a trait of her game there.
Maddie Miller, the freshman who scored that. We talked about it, Ray. That was a momentum changer. It was 7-4. The Bobcats had pulled within 3. And Miller came in and made that great goal and made it 8-4. Boston followed up with another goal.
Oh, she's in, but good job on defense.
Manzo, number 9. Looks like she's going to get called.
Going to be a shooting space violation. Now look at her angle here. Remember what I said before the other way around? I'd cut across the Bel Air players if she can and then get the shot off. Oh, she got swallowed. That was
Great defense.
Whew.
That was quick. Behind the crease again. Looking for those cutters.
Yeah, they're not quite there, but she got in. That's got to be a foul.
Let's see if it's going to be and it's going to be a yellow card. So now Bel Air is going to be down a person for 2 minutes.
See, I used to play indoor soccer, Don, and when you were a man up, if you scored, the player got to come back on the field.
Yep.
But in this, it looks like they stay off no matter what. Oh, she saved it.
That's a nice save by Sinar. Big save. Bobcats need to withstand this shortage of player right now.
I'm assuming that underneath these sweatpants, these goalies are wearing pads from the upper knee all the way down to their lower shin.
I'd be wearing iron personally. Steel, something a lot harder than rubber.
Oh, she's open.
Great pass.
Good job on the defense, though, sliding quickly. Remember early in the game when the Boston Cutters were wide open or they were slashing to the goal so quickly? I got to give the Bel Air defense.
Oh, great
and
move
the
and a great
goalie.
save. Wow, Sinar again.
They're sliding much quicker to cut off these runners.
Yeah, that's a good observation, Ray. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of Boston players open now. They're leading, though, by those 4 goals.
Sometimes it just takes the coach pointing out a basic like that. And we talked about footwork before. Footwork matters on defense. You got to slide your feet if you're going to follow. Look at that speed.
Bobcats moving the ball.
She's just zigzagging through everybody all the way downfield.
Eve Kraut, the sophomore.
Got some good young players.
They do. Both teams do. That Boston team we're talking about has the 1 senior on the entire starting lineup. That being Natalie Worth. That's not a bad senior to have.
No, it's not. But I mean, does that bode well for their next couple of years, too?
Remember the defending state champion. Manzo looking to shoot. Gets free. Now has the ball knocked away and a shooting violation penalty called.
So, Don, what you see there is the officials could have called it a split second before there, but she looked like she was going to fight through it and maybe get the shot off.
Yeah.
That's called possession.
Manzo shot and goal.
Oh, that was a pretty goal, Don.
Another rifle shot by Riley Manzo.
She lowered her body, and the stick release on that was so low to the ground. Look how low she gets her stick, if I'm correct.
boom.
Yeah.
There's another one
Down
by
by her
John
waist.
Madden. Boom. Yeah, John Madden taught me that. That was back in the day.
Did you get to ride on his bus from game
No,
to
I
game?
love John Madden. No, who didn't love John
He
Madden?
was great.
You know, just a kind of guy that the game could be boring and, you know, out of
Yep.
but John Madden made it fun.
And so popular, they named the game after him.
Yup. 4:42 now, and the Bobcats pull back within 3. That's as close as they've been. They've been within 3 now twice.
Nice.
Here come the Cats.
So I've noticed that Bel Air has won more of the draws when the ball doesn't go straight up. Worth wants it to go straight up because then she could just reach up with her height and get it. Bel Air is trying to throw it almost out of the center circle and then run to it.
Manzo again, looking. Boy, he's cut off. 3 people cut her off.
Yeah, they know she wants that one-on-one down the middle.
But what possession. Manzo was able to keep the ball even though there were 3 defenders on her.
Don, this is only the second time that we've had an opportunity for the game to get back within 2 goals.
Yeah. Here's Spike dodging. Oh, good defense by Falston. Marissa Dixon, that sophomore, number 11, playing that great defense. Spike looked like she had a clear path to the goal. Cut off.
So you see there's there specific players that they want to take the one-on-ones.
Manzo. Oh, great defense by Falston.
When
Manzo looked like she was open.
When she pulls back up top, she needs somebody to cut through to the goal. She's looking for that when she pulls back out of the top of her run.
Bobcats are really possessing the ball well now, better than they have through most of the game. If they could score
There's
here
a
and get within
cutter.
2, there's a, oh, and
There's a
she's
foul.
knocked down. That's going to be a penalty. Let's see if they just call it a common one. Yeah, they're not going to send her off the field.
So this is the one where I'd cut in front of the person to her left, like
This is
they did
Burrows,
before.
Delaney Burrows, with a chance to come within 2 for the Bobcats. Oh,
She has it.
didn't get a whole lot on the ball.
See what she did there, Don? The defender, after she got it, she just rolled it into the crease so her goalie can have it freely. This could be a turnover here.
No, it is going to be Bel Air ball. You're right.
That's one of
Bobcats
those
get it.
things that coaches hate. We just did all that job defending,
Yep.
and then we just turn it over. And then as soon as I say that, Bel Air does the same thing back.
Give it. Turnabout is fair play. We're friends. You turn it over, I'll give it back to you.
Well, you know what, Don? This is where the fatigue of the game starts to play.
Mm-hmm.
This has been one of the cleanest games I've ever seen with 2 really good teams.
And not a lot of substitutions on
No,
either side.
no.
I mean, yeah, this game doesn't mean a whole lot in terms of the postseason, but it means a lot in terms of the championship of the league.
This is for pride. This is
And historically, too, the first
Yes.
UCBAC championship of the new format.
which it's more valid, Don. You get the best 4 teams out of 15
Absolutely.
in the championship rounds.
Whoever the brilliant people were that got together and came up with this format, you know, Debbie Bostler and her ADs.
I think most of them are here tonight, Don.
Yep.
We have a big collection of athletic
We
directors here.
saw Tim and Patrick Mull, who'll be coaching the Boston team in a few moments, the boys team.
Caitlin Larimore was here.
Yep.
Craig Reddish is Bel Air's. I think we saw John Stefanidis here.
We did, yeah.
And you may know them. I saw the Havre Grace athletic director here, but I don't know the name.
Heather Crawford.
There was a gentleman here from Havre Grace too, but maybe he was here in a different role.
Yeah, not sure who that would be. Yeah, the ADs, a lot of the ADs are classroom teachers. Talk about Patrick Mull, teaches in the classroom, is the AD, and coaches boys lacrosse.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, what's he do in his spare time? Hopefully sleep a little. Here come the Bobcats with 43 seconds. Boy, if they could score here, Ray.
Oh, right down the middle.
Fike! Free down the middle.
She got
Fike!
one defender.
101. Fike with the goal!
She still made it. Wow.
34.9 seconds. Paige Fike comes right down the middle and gets her team within 2. What a play.
What a great outlet pass from the defensive half of the field. That was almost like an over-the-shoulder receiver catching football to have to catch that ball on a full run.
Watch how she gets the ball Ray, it comes. Look at the speed on Paige Blake. One-on-one, dodges the defender, and then shoots it by the goalie, McCarthy, and bolts her team within 2. That's the closest we've been since it was 2-0 back in the early part of the game.
The Falston player really was coming on hard at the end, and the Fike young lady had a girl in the middle too. She had 2 choices: dish it to the middle or shoot it. She saw the goalie slide a little bit more to her right. She saw the whole left side of the goal open, and she put it right in there.
31 seconds and counting. Bobcats have come back within 2 goals.
I don't care what sport it is, Don. Goal scorers have instincts and an eye that everybody doesn't have.
Clock running at 15.
They've got to throw this downfield quick. You almost just want to heave it towards the goal and hope
Inside
somebody
5.
can catch it.
That should be the end of this
That's it.
third period. 9-7. Wow, wow, wow. That's a triple wow.
That's a lot of momentum there coming back in that quarter by Bel Air.
It was 9-4. Falston coming into that that third period.
Yes.
Bel Air scored Fike at 11:20, Manso at 4:42, Fike at 34 seconds. They score 3 straight goals. They come back within 2, and again we have a game. Ray, if you had bet me when it was 6-0 early in the game, I would have said Falston is going to be a cakewalk. No, no, no.
Yeah, it's been a 7-3 game Bel Air since then.
Yeah.
And Don, there's some little incidentals in sports that people don't know. Conditioning, depth. You know, you pointed out that we haven't seen much subbing. So, you know, maybe one coach has snuck a few subs in there more than the other one. And your legs are going to start to affect your skills right now. It's a runner's game, Don.
Yeah, and we talked about the day. It is cool. You know, a little humid perhaps, but the wind blowing. So in terms of conditions of play, perfect.
Yeah.
And we haven't mentioned about this field, but Ray, again, speaking about my sprint across the field that Tim was so impressed with.
You keep calling it a sprint, Don, but go ahead.
Okay, it was a shuffle then. But the turf is so soft and pliable.
Right.
You know, it makes you want to run fast,
Yes.
even though you, in my case, can't. You know, I want to just sort of sprint and show off as we cross the field. My point being is that it's an easy field to play on. Go back to the old days when we had these turf, when we had grass fields, there's ruts all over the place. It made it difficult to play. You've got a field here that is just tremendously well groomed, well done. Just a pleasure to be here.
Well, Don, I've seen analogies about how many miles a soccer player runs, and a center mid or midfielder, if the game is back and forth, can run 12 miles in a game. I can't imagine how much Worth and Fike have run in this game.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen either of them come off the field.
Yep.
They have to run from one end to the other and become a defender, then become an offensive player.
Yep.
You know, the defenders and the attack players, they get a good amount of running in too. But these midfielders on these two teams, they're going to need a break tomorrow.
You know, we talked about the 2 stars, Paige Fike, you mentioned, and Natalie Worth. And you hope that the stars show up big in big games.
Yes.
Boy, they have.
Look how much you can see Worth's uniform flapping in the wind right now. The wind has really picked up down there.
Yeah, it has. Still blowing from sort of the right goal to the left goal, if you can imagine how that is. Fike and During, all-important draw here as we begin the 4th period with the Bobcats scoring 3 straight goals to come from a 8-4 deficit now to
There
a
should be a
9-7
Fike ball.
game.
Nope, they got in there. Or Worth, I meant to say. That was the kind she wanted.
Natalie Worth with the ball. Now the momentum, Ray. What did he say? The last couple of minutes of the one period into the next period.
Oops, a turnover.
Turnover intercepted by Paige Fike. Here come the Bobcats. During now. Darby During with the ball going down the far sideline.
Good defense. So momentum is huge, Don. And, I mean, with a 2-goal game, this next goal is huge for the team does it. If Bel Air scores, Wow, we got a 1-goal game. If Falston scores, they can start milking the clock.
Boston has led all the way up by as many as 6-0 at one point, led by 4 goals several times. Now the Bobcats back within 2. Great
Nice
pass.
cut.
Oh, good defense. Looks like the penalty is going to be called. Fike will get a free run at the goal.
So it was a great pass, and the defender was in shooting space as soon as she caught it. So it's a shooting space violation, if I'm correct.
Paige Fike. Can she pull her team within 1?
A pass.
Passes it instead. What a surprise that was. Good job by Falston to defend it.
Oh, that was an important call.
Yeah. Ray, did that surprise you that Fike didn't take it right to the goal?
I did. I thought the way she's been shooting, I actually thought she would cut in front of the defender again, but that's the fatigue coming in. You don't have that spurt you had before, but I'm still surprised she didn't. She has such a good shot. I would have just shot.
Yeah. Shows how unselfish she is.
Yes.
Looking for her. There's Manzo cut off.
Good double team.
Manzo.
Oh, look at her sticking with
Manzo
it.
still fighting, shooting. Oh, nice
Hit the-
stop by
hit the-
McCarthy. Wow. What action that was.
There it
Great
is.
pass. Open. Ball blocked right
They're
in
gonna
front of the goal.
Try to scoop it to the goalie. They did.
What a sensational action that was.
There was 3 or 4 defenders that cut her off
Mhm.
in one play.
In the final period with 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game. Whistle blows, but Falston maintains possession with the ball. That's Abby Howells.
So if I was Falston right now, Don, I'd be having some kind of a signal if I was the coach to, let's take 2 minutes off the clock here. Let's regain our composure a little bit, get a little bit of our legs back.
You can probably hear that wind through our field mic. It has really picked up. Cut off. That was Dauphiné 14 with the ball.
Yeah, they are definitely doing that. They're working the ball around. Coach says if you have a free run, take it, but if not, be patient.
Stick violation. We've been commenting the entire game about Falston's passing ability. They're almost unerring. I think we've seen, what, 1 turnover?
Yeah. And I think that's more fatigue than skill.
Good
Oops.
job defensively.
Somebody's coaching from the stands just announced a cutter as if the player in the field is going to be able to hear that from here.
Well, they heard you before, so maybe he's mic'd up as well.
Such a beautiful complex here, Don.
Oh, absolutely. Dauphiné, 3 goals, looking for a 4th. Shoots
Just wide.
Yeah.
Well, Don, you talked about the fields we played on. I have to credit a divot for my only high school lacrosse goal. The divot helped it go in.
And it was the divot you put there before the game. That's the worst part.
So they're definitely being very patient. We're already down to 7:30, and they've only had 1 shot off in the last couple minutes.
And no goals scored here in the 4th period. Again, it looked like Paige Pike had a clear run at the goal, but instead passed it. Great defense by Falston. Here's Worth. Shoots it. Good play by the goalie. Be able to knock the ball away.
Yeah.
Sinar.
You wonder what you talked about before. When will the referees give them a little signal of, you need to attack? You're stalling too much.
Yeah. They're moving the ball, at the goal, so they really aren't stalling it per se. But they are controlling it up by 2 goals.
I think as long as, there's a nice run. I think if you show the effort, Don, what a catch.
And great pass and a shot. What a stop. Sinar, point blank, is able to knock that ball down.
So let's see who this is against. They're on the Bel Air ball.
Yeah, going to go against Falston.
That was important. Bel Air needed something to get this possession back. Am I wrong? No, it's Falston.
I thought it was Bel Air as well.
Yeah,
Looked
he
like
pointed the wrong way there, and that's what threw us off. That's our excuse, and we're sticking with it. Right,
exactly.
Don?
Natalie Worth. Boy, Falston has had this for, the last 3 minutes?
Yeah. Oh,
Great
good
pass.
duck. Good duck, referee. Coming right at his head.
I'm getting out of here.
Oh, right behind
That's
him.
Paige Fike able to make that interception. What's the call? Gonna
This
stay
is
with
where I get
Boston.
confused. I thought that was good defense.
Yeah. Maybe we didn't see the contact, but they're going to give
Right.
it back to Falston.
I did hear a stick-to-stick noise, so that's what it had to have been.
9-7 as you see our score. It's been that way since the beginning of the fourth period. We're now at the 5:32 mark. We played almost 7 minutes without a goal. And there's a penalty.
Yep.
Shooting space violation. Dolphin A will be the young lady who'll get the run at the goal.
Let's look at this angle. It's a tough angle. Wait a minute, is that her with the ball on the side or in the middle? I can't tell. Yeah, she was on the side, so she just passed it.
Passed it back.
There's a nice catch.
Worth shot, goal.
And goal.
Natalie Worth, great catch. Took a couple of steps, got herself clear, and made the goal. Boy, what a momentum changer that is
Yeah.
at 4:58.
Now at this point, Don, the Bobcats need to win almost every draw. They can't afford to give up possession again.
So Worth, let's see, that's 2. Here, you'll see the replay here. Here we go.
There it is. Catch. Cleared the defender, Don. That was smart.
She saw that the goalie was a little bit out of position and threw the ball right where the goalie couldn't get it, down to the lower right side. For Natalie Worth, her 4th goal of the game puts her team up by 10-7.
There's the possession they needed. Let's see what they can do with it.
Bobcats with the ball. Got to score and score quickly. Riley Manzo. And now Paige Fike.
Look for Fike 101 or Doring 101. They both like that.
And there's Doring. Great defense by the Falston Cougars. And Maritza Dixon, number 11, maybe a little bit too good.
So Doring drew 2 players on purpose and then flicked it to her teammate, but it would have worked, but the penalty was called.
Oh, great play by Dixon
Yeah,
from
she was right
behind.
behind her.
Oh, my goodness. No, Bobcats retain possession. Burrows pass. Manzo shot, open goal, goal.
I love the
Great pass
patience
by
there.
Riley and Manzo.
Do you see that? She had the shot with her left hand, but the goalie and the defender cut her off. She spun around to her right hand and put it in the wide open goal.
Great goal. So it's 10-8 as Manzo is able to get that catch and then make the shot. Ray, it's everything we could have hoped it would be. Watch this pass, watch the catch.
Spin.
Open goal.
Yes.
Not a thing in the world that Allgate McCarthy could have done about it. So we're back to within 2 goals at 4:07.
So technically, a coach will tell you you shouldn't be able to catch a pass that deep in by the goal. So that was great positioning on Manzo and a great pass by her teammate.
And then Manzo simply made that little spin move and got herself open. Worth and Doring on the all-important draw.
Got 4 minutes and 7 seconds to score 2 goals for Bel Air.
And then we'd have, what, overtime?
Again, what our crew always roots for, Don. Always.
Well, we got to be here through the boys' game anyhow. Why not have overtime, huh? There's Manzo. Bobcats coming away with the possession. A chance now to pull within 1.
So now they can't be as patient as before, Don. They've got to attack a little bit quicker. I'd be looking to get the ball back to Fike in a 1-on-1. See if somebody can give her a little bit of a pick if it's allowed.
Doring, great
Doring's in.
catch. Loses the ball, but the penalty's going to be called.
So when the angle she's going to come out here, Don, this is when you do often see a pass. But she doesn't have the free run. She has a defender in front of her. She's trying to get there.
Doring, shot, And it goes in.
Gosh.
Doring somehow.
She had no angle. She put the ball up and over the goalie. Probably had about a foot angle.
I have no idea how she got that ball in the goal, but it's now 10-9.
It's the first time that we've had a 1-goal game since the 1 minute mark, Don.
Yeah, since
Look
the
at
beginning
that
of the
replay,
game.
right up and over.
How in the world? I think McCarthy's asking the same question.
Yes.
How in the world did you get that one in? So 3 minutes and 12 seconds, what had been a 6-0 game going back midway of the first period is now 10-9.
So, Don, that was such a slight angle. I was looking for the ball to be coming out the other side, and people chase it down. And she found that little sliver of a space there.
Timeout on the field. Bella, you think about the comeback. You're down 6-0. It's easy to say, hey, we're just outclassed. We're not going to be able to win tonight. But they hung with it, had been down by 4 goals several times, cut it to 3, cut it to 2, then Falston went back up by 3. Now they're back within 1 goal. Wow.
So, tell you what here, talking about the most important draw of the season coming up right here. I mean, Falston wins it, you got to think they're going to be told to play keep away as much as they can. You know, Bel Air needs to win this draw, or they're going to have to create a turnover.
Well, I tell you, Ray, I snuck in here. I didn't pay. I will admit that. And I know you were able to get in. You sort of smoothed your way in.
Yeah, I did.
So what I'm getting at is no matter what you had to pay to get here tonight, it was worth it. What a game. What an awesome game. Again, when it was 6-0, I was ready to say, oh, well, it's time to tell a few stories and, but wow, give Bel Air Bobcats credit. Now, if you're Falston, Ray, what do you do? How do you tell your team, if you're Coach Ricucci, what do you tell your team to do to maintain this 1-goal lead?
Well, outside of winning the draw and trying to kill the clock, if they don't win the possession, I really feel like Bel Air is doing the one-on-ones. Doring, Fike, they've been, Manzo's been able to get inside. But those 2 other players, they're looking for the one-on-one attack of the goal, and you got to kind of deny them the ball.
Yeah.
That's the best defense, is don't let the best players have the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just been an exciting game, the way the Bobcats have maintained their composure and come back and made a game of it. And now the Cougars, desperately wanting to hold on to that 1-goal lead or perhaps score 1 to go back with a little comfortable margin.
What do they tell you in other team sports? Don't let so-and-so win the game. Make somebody else win it. You got to take away Doring and Fike if you're Falston. Double team them if you have to.
Worth and Doring. Here's the all-important draw.
Flicked. I think they're going to call a foul on Bel Air there.
Yeah. Cougars get the ball.
Now, this is where they're going to try to stall, and this is where you have to overcommit on defense, Don.
Yep, you're up by a goal, Falston, but you've got 3 minutes left in the game.
See, the coach just told her to go out there. You can't lay back and just let them stand there. You have to pressure them, which means that somebody from Falston could slide wide open to the goal, and that's the risk you take, but you have to now for Bel Air.
Boy, Ray, you're so right. Look how open that mouth is in front of the crease. Falston right now not interested in cutting somebody there. They're more interested in just delaying the game down to 2 minutes and 25 seconds.
So this is why in college lacrosse I think they have a shot clock, because they don't want people to be able to just stall out the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So right now Bel Air's, like I said, they've got to overcommit and pressure the ball.
Meantime, Falston now within 2 minutes, crossing the 2 minute mark. Just great passing.
So you have
How's a cut? Nope, she's not going to take the shot.
No, not there. They're not going to.
That was the freshman Miller was open, but there she is, Miller again, Maddie Miller.
See, even the goalie was coming out there to defend, which leaves the goal open.
Down to 1:30.
But it's another risk you have to take.
Worth. What's the call? They're going to call a foul against Bel Air, so it will be Falston's ball.
So my old ears just heard a coach on the other sideline for Falston yell out to the players, we don't need a goal, we need to win.
You have good ears. All I heard was whoosh, the wind.
I can hear some things once in a while, and I can remember them rarely.
Minute and 8 seconds. Now back up to minute 21. They put,
They put time
13
back.
seconds back on the clock. 10-9, the lead for Falston.
That's good officiating, Don.
Yeah.
He ran all the way over there to tell them to put that 13 seconds back on the clock. In
Impressed with the
fairness.
officiating. Then a very, as you said, cleanly played game. Well officiated, well played. Natalie Worth, Manzo on her. Foul called against Bel Air.
So Worth is fast, and their coach is just going to tell her to run around. Oh, she's going into the goal. And she didn't
Backhanded
score.
shot, did not score, but Falston will retain possession. Inside a minute, 55 seconds, clock moving, 1 goal lead for Falston. Bobcats desperate to get the ball, 45 seconds. But they have stalled it away for what, 3 minutes?
Yes.
Miller, freshman with the ball. What a play by Miller. Hey, I'm a freshman. I'm going to give the ball to somebody. I don't want it.
She's just running around.
Maddie
and
Miller
killing
says,
clock.
I'll take it. There's a foul.
And then they keep
Inside
possession.
30. Maddie Miller says, catch me if you can.
Yeah.
18 seconds, 17 seconds. Foul is going to be called against Bel Air. Clock stops at 11.9 seconds left in the game.
They should have stopped it about 4 seconds ago, so I don't know if the official will say that or not.
They put some time back on it. Let's see. Boy, the Bobcats had to go 100 yards to get a shot off.
Yeah. Great job killing the clock
9
here.
seconds, 8 seconds, 5, 4, 3, and Falston is going to survive and win the UCBAC Upper Chesapeake Bay Athletic Conference Championship in a whale of a game by a final score of 10-9.
That was exciting, Don.
Ray, if you had told me you're down 6-0, you get back in the game, I'd say you're crazy. You're got a 1-goal lead with 3 minutes to play, and Bel Air never got the ball back.
Right?
I would say there's no way in the world that could happen. But you've seen the Falston Cougars come up with a big 10-9 win. Natalie Worth with 4 goals, Paige Fike with 3 goals. The 2 stars of the opposing teams showed up just what you think they would. Ray
Well-
Ruse, how do you think about that game?
I just think that it's 2 really good teams, and I'm really excited to hear about what they do in the playoffs. I think Falston can go all the way in the 1A or 2A they're in, but I think Bel Air is going to be a player in their classification as well.
Yeah, Bel Air in the 3A, Falston in the 1A, the defending 1A state champions. Hope you've enjoyed it. Our final score from Bel Air, it's the Falston Cougars winning the UCBAC championship by a final score of 10-9. Don Morrison, Ray Ruse, thank you for tuning in.